My name is Craig, and I've been asked to speak about my alcoholism. My alcoholism, I believe, actually started for me long before I actually took my first drink. I remember being really young and feeling like I didn't seem to fit in, or that I was a part of the other kids around me, the other adults. I come from a background of alcoholics. My grandparents and my father, they were all alcoholics. I believe, for me, that actually alcoholism is a genetic thing that's passed on. At the time, I had no idea that that was what was going on or that was going to be my future. I remember drinking the first time at a very young age. I didn't drink like the other people I was with. I drank like there was no tomorrow, or like I was never going to get it again. I don't even understand why I drank like that right out of the gate. My first time drinking, I was about 8.5 years old. I could have maybe had a sip or something prior to that, but that was really the first time I did it. I realized that alcohol gave me a freedom that I had never experienced before. I was able to interact with the people and the kids and stuff that I was around, and I felt like I was a part of. From that point forward, I got busy trying to become a part of, and the only way I knew how to do that is to drink more. I never was a periodic drinker, not even from the first time on. I always made sure I found ways to get my hands on it and stuff. It sounds really weird, but because I found alcohol, I was actually able to finish school and graduate from school. You know, I had no idea that the drinking, that there was anything wrong with it, because everybody around me seemed to drink and party and have a good time just like I did. So I just thought I was like everybody else. I, in the back of my mind, though, liked how it made me feel about myself. My father actually sobered up when I was about 12. Kind of funny when you think about it, because I grew up with his drinking all around me, and I never connected my behavior to his behavior. It progressed pretty fast for me. I immediately started into the drugs, and I took the drugs so I could drink more, and I could drink longer without passing out. And I think probably because of that I experienced a lot of blackouts. I destroyed relationships because the alcohol came before anything else, because it was always about the alcohol. I had to have the alcohol. I had gotten to a point where I couldn't go 2 hours without a drink, or I would start into DTs. I didn't know they were DTs at the time. All I know is that I'd start shaking real bad and hurt real bad, and so I figured out real quick that I needed to make sure that I always had alcohol around me. It gets a little hard to manage to have it readily available when I needed it. So there were several times I remember going into the bathroom and taking out the rubbing alcohol out of the cabinet and drinking that to hold me over until the stores opened up. The first few times I drank, I had like a euphoria, and I don't know how to actually put it into words. Strangely, that dissipated quickly, and it got to the point I could never reach that point in my drinking again. I never got to feel or experience that. It was, almost like chasing the rainbow and trying to find the end of at the end of it, a pot of gold, and never finding the pot of gold. I could just never get there again. I had been up for 3 days and 3 nights, drinking and partying, and just, I don't know, I was doing it like with a fury that I'd never ever experienced or ever done up to that point. And I remember it was probably 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. The sun was just starting to come up. And I'm sitting out there on the hood of my vehicle, and I'm watching it come up. And I have never been so terrified in my life, because all the drinking and all the drugs I had used for those 3 days and 3 nights, I could not escape anymore. That was a terror that I had never experienced in my life before or since. And I knew that there was something I had to do. So I got off the hood of the car and I drove to, at that time, was St. Benedict's Hospital. They had a treatment center there. And I talked to a gal there. Her name was Ann Waters. Remember it like it was yesterday. I had no job at the time, no place to live or anything like that. Pretty much alcohol at that point has cleansed me of everything. And I told her I needed help, and she proceeded to inform me there was no way she could help me because I had no insurance, no money, no place to live or anything else.